Hello, 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 everyone. What's up,
Yeah.
my sister? How you
Hi,
doing,
hi.
Lisa?
I'm here. I'm blessed.
Hey, same here. I am truly blessed. I want to welcome everybody to our podcast. It's called Warriors Speak. Everybody that's on our show in some way. Well, Lisa and I, we are cancer survivors and warriors. Y'all send up a little prayer for Veronica Pitts. She's not feeling too well today. She did have her procedure, so just lift our other host up in prayer for y'all. She is probably watching from a glance, sis. I've already said a prayer for you. And we got a special guest tonight that we'll be bringing in a few minutes. We're just going to recap last weekend. I have fun last weekend. Friday started off as a bad day for me, and I was looking forward to getting my tooth pulled. Been waiting almost a month to get this done. When you're taking chemotherapy and I take oral chemo, it one of the side effects is it weakens your teeth. And so one of my what did I do a root canal from a while ago. It came part of it came off. I don't know what happened. I called Lisa. I was like, oh my God. And I've been trying to get something done. So the dentist I went to, and I'm not gonna put their name out there, but I am kind of hot that they had me come there 3 times. You know what I mean? And y'all didn't know I was you know, for y'all not to know I wasn't on chemo is crazy because I let all doctors know what's going on with me and that
Mhm.
I have cancer. But anyway, the doctor told me he didn't feel comfortable pulling my tooth, extracting my tooth. So I got really upset because I've been waiting so long. It's hard to get into a dentist. Some people's is booked out all the way till June, July, August, and I was just so upset. Anyway, he did give me a referral, but I'm so happy that my girlfriend turned it into a smack day. And we just
Mhm.
had a lot of fun. And she wanted to put it on live, which, I'm trying to stay away from live just when I come on here and do this. And it was fun. She turned a bad day into a good day and a whole weekend. And then getting to be in a fashion show with my mentor, my sister, for cancer survivors. It was called Periwinkle Blue and a little pink. Is that what? And a little pink
Pink ribbon
too.
too. Mhm.
Pink ribbon too. So it was definitely dope. Big shout out to Tony C. I've never been in a fashion show. The one thing I liked about it is I got to wear clothes that make me comfortable. I had everybody thinking I was coming in a wig, and that was fun. But yeah, I really enjoyed myself. It my whole weekend from Friday to through Sunday was just up here, way up here. So how about you, Lisa?
Yeah. It's been a busy week for me. With everything going on. My daughter with track and all, and Saturday was a relief. To be able to be in attendance again at my cousin's annual fashion show, which is the 6th year she's done this, and it was very nice. It's always nice, but but to have all the previous cancer survivors and have a few new people like Smack come in, but it's the same ones, but we really want to reach out to people for next year that is going through to come out, going through or been through cancer, that want to be in the cancer fashion show. It's just basically uh being in the atmosphere or in a space of people that have gone through what you've gone through on the journey, and meeting people, and just a moment for us to be celebrated. And like I said, a few of us that was in the fashion show been in it previous years, and it was nice to have Smack get into it. And it was, I think, two other people that was new to it, and to experience it, because you could wear you could pick your flyest outfit or whatever you want to, and you know, and strut your
Good.
stuff. And she had raffles, and
Mhm.
she provided food, dinner. There was vendors. Oh, the
Yeah,
vendors were
greens.
always nice. It was people from cupcakes to oils and scents and purses, and it was a lot. It was
Personalized
decent.
mugs. It was nice.
Yep, and the
Them
lady
green
that
beans
had
was good.
the tumblers, the special tumblers. Yep, they did raffles, um, and everything. It was really nice. I'm I'm definitely giving big ups to my cousin Tony Cummins. You did your thing again this year, and it was more important this year, which is weird because she was on in February, and she talked about her esophageal cancer, and she talked about her dad being in it, and you know, unfortunately, a few weeks after that, her father passed away, and the best thing about it is that they had a seat with his picture in it, and even
Yeah.
though he couldn't be there, he was there
He
in
was
spirit. So
yeah.
that was the most touching moment of the actual event. But also, my she honored my cousin Bishop Jonathan Dukes, his wife, First Lady Deneen. She passed away in September from cancer, and she brought him up with my little cousins, and honored them with a gift from her in remembrance of Deneen. So that was a nice thing that she did. So this year kind of
Yeah.
really meant, even though I've been in, you know, the past ones, this one was more sentimental because of her dad and my cousin's
Right.
wife, to remember them.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed myself. I really did. It was a long day, but when I got got home, I got myself together and laid down and went to sleep. But yeah,
I
it was a
know
nice
that's
event.
right. Yeah, so I appreciate the recap. I probably missed some things, but I enjoyed it. But what's even better is the young lady that we have on our show tonight. I
Hmm.
met Lisa during my time of fighting. She reached out to me, Lisa D, and I'm gonna share a few things about her. She is a local, and I hope I'm saying it's right. Terre Haute, Indiana award winning actress. She has performed in local theaters and supporting and co starring roles like Cotton Patch Gospel 2018, Putnam County Spelling Bee, To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, I remember that. That's a movie. Go ahead, girl. And Ragtime. She has done stand up comedy at the Red Palms in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Rooftop in Hollywood, California, 2024. She has been a cast member of the comedic show Sauced in the City. She is doing stand-up comedy at local venues. Lisa D is also featured in the films Space Bangers, Mo City, and Pippin Ain't Dead. 2024. She has worked as an LPN for over 30 years. She loves music in all forms. I have seen her perform that she puts on her page. Her bio is pretty long. I do want to put it out there that she has sung with her family at various churches in the area for over 30 years. Lisa plays over 4 musical instruments, and she has been a stage 3 invasive ductal breast cancer survivor since June of 2021. Y'all welcome Lisa D to the
Hello,
show.
everybody. Hello.
Hi.
How you
Hi, how are
doing?
you?
I am living. I am surviving. I keep on going. You got to keep on going. Yeah.
Right, keep
Definitely.
on going. You have
Yep.
a lot of accolades. Oh, beautiful. I mean, I can see that entertaining people is something that you have done majority of your life, as well as helping people being an LPN, you know? And
Yes. I think that's my calling. My calling is to be with people, to entertain people, to make people happy, to help people when I can. And I think when breast cancer chose me to get cancer, they chose the wrong person because look, I encourage women, you go out, you get your breasts examined, examine your breasts at home, touch yourself, go ahead, touch yourself. It's all right. It's okay. Check it out. If you feel anything wrong, anything different, go get it checked out. No matter, even if
Yeah.
it's a little pimple, go get it checked out because you never know.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what Veronica, our other co-host, she really pushes that a lot doing self-exams. Um I ain't gonna hold y'all, but I just learned how to do self-exams. I asked one of the nurses to teach me because I'm like, I never felt what they felt, when I got my mammogram the first time. And I mean, when I found out, not the first time, but when I found out I have cancer. So now I know how to do it, and I do it almost every day. That's just me, but I just had a mammogram, y'all, and it came back negative. So
Woohoo!
there's no cancer in the breast, thank
Yeah.
God, but it is still spread to my bones. So that was something. It's the little things that make us happy.
Mhm.
So Lisa, Lisa D, I got a question for you. With all that you do, with you entertaining people, and when you found out that when you were diagnosed with breast cancer, what did that feel like? Did you have the support you needed around you?
The amazing thing about my community here in Terre Haute, I'm not one of those people that, I got cancer, I'm not going to tell nobody. I told everybody that I ran into. If I saw a stranger, it's like, I got stage 3 breast cancer. I told everybody because I'm not that type of person to keep that to myself. And the next thing I
Mhm.
know, the local bar that I do comedy in, they gave me like a little, a little fundraiser. The comedians, that I work with, they were doing fundraisers for me because when you get cancer, there's really not much out there to help you financially.
Mhm.
And food. I had friends dropping food off. I would go,
Wow,
they would knock at my door, and there would be like a bag of food. They gave me cards for. I have some great friends. Great
that's
friends.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, do you have children? I don't mean to pry into your personal.
I have two. I have a daughter and a son. My son's almost 30. I can't believe it. My daughter, she's 23. Uh, but they lived at that time. My daughter was in California and my son was in Indy. And that's some miles away. So pretty much it was my
Yeah.
community that supported me, which is,
Wow,
Okay.
that's amazing.
yeah.
That's that's amazing. I know some of our guests we have spoke to, telling their kids it was hard. So it's nice to know that, you had that support system around you. How long were you in treatment?
It was because they were like, it's only going to be a year, but it ended up being like a year and about 5 months of treatment.
Hmm.
With the chemo. The chemo was rough.
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
that rough. I was one of those people that I asked them when I first started chemo, how long will it be before I lose my hair? Because my hair was down to here. And they're like,
Mm.
okay, about the third treatment, you're going to start seeing your hair fall out. So I was like, well, we're not going to have that. So I went home, shaved my head. Of course, I did it on Facebook Live. That's just me.
That's
Yeah,
what I did.
yeah, shaved my head. And then, the radiation, that was rough too. So you go through a lot of things that are really rough, but the great thing was I reached out to my friends. I have comedian friends. I have friends that do movies. I have friends that do music. So I was like, hey, so while I'm down doing chemo, can you guys send me some of your stuff so I can watch it and listen to it during chemo? And I had such an outpouring from my comedian friends, from my act, my actor friend, movie friends, my music friends. So every day that I had chemo, I had a different thing to listen to watch. So,
Hmm.
I reached out. I'm not that type
That's
of person to
good.
keep it in. I think the thing that really helped me heal was reaching out and getting all that positive energy. I think that really helped me heal.
All right.
Awesome.
You got you got any questions, Lisa?
Yeah. Bandit. Uh, Speaking of kids, because with Ronnie, she has a younger daughter, Savannah, my little cousin, and my daughter was 10 when I was diagnosed with my second cancer. So she wasn't born with the first one. But being that your kids are older and you're outspoken, you like, I gotta tell everybody how
Right.
how did they feel and how were they helpful in, even though they may not been, right there with you.
Well, my son. he's an adult, but he's on the spectrum. So
Okay.
he was kind of, but he's great. He's able to take care of himself. You know, he's doing, but he took it kind of like, you know, I'm going to lose my mom. And I'm like, you know, hey, I'm fighting this. I'm going to, you know, my daughter was very supportive, but she was in California at the time. So she would call her, you know, yeah, like Thanksgiving. I didn't have a turkey. My daughter sent me a turkey via Walmart, you know, so they
Yeah.
support, but, and, you
That's
know,
pretty cool.
from where they are. Oh yeah. From where they were, they supported.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My I know my brothers, man, I felt like I had three daddies while I was going through you know, the chemotherapy and the radiation the first go around, going through my treatment. My brother, if I did not call him by a certain time, he would call me and act like he's somebody daddy. And my younger brother, he would call my brother, did you talk to Vonda yet? And if he said no, then he would call, and sometimes he'd be like, yo, we just trying to check on you, like, you know. So I liked it, you know what I'm saying? But it got to me some days, because, you know, you may be having a bad day. So I want to tell everybody, you know, appreciate family and support system. That is so amazing. Because of all that you do, you have that support system in place. How did you continue to do comedy and acting while you were going through your treatment?
Well, I can say not on the chemo days. The chemo days knocked me out. But then at the time I was doing comedy with Sauce in the City, and Brenda Brown was calling me every day to make sure I was kicking it still, you know. And she was like, well, why haven't you been on screen? And I was like, well, because I lost my hair, you know, I don't look like I normally look. And she's like, girl, go get yourself fixed up and come on screen. So I would go on screen and do, you know, stuff online, because you gotta remember we were still COVID, you know, at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I would do comedy online. That's what I would normally do. Or, and if I did go have a chance to go out, I'd mask up and ask to go first, because with chemo, you know, you can't mess with
Get
any.
tired.
Yes. Yes.
So I would go first and leave. Yeah. So that's how
That's
I would
what's
do
up.
it. Yeah.
I
So your
wish I could
comedy
say that I had.
help you get through your times, because
Yes.
because I know what you were saying. You like when you did chemo, you like you had some days. Like we know, because it felt like some days it was taking me out, and I was praying like, Lord, yeah. So on those days, how did you get through? Besides everyone calling you, did you just
People
put
calling
one?
me, crossing my fingers that when I went to sleep, I'd wake up often, because that chemo, man, it was rough. It was so rough. Yeah, it's no joke, and that's why they call cancer people warriors, because you go through some stuff, and you're letting them do it to you. You know, they're putting in chemo, take everything, because I did not expect my nose hairs to disappear. I was like,
every hair,
everywhere gone.
yes,
I understood the importance of having eyebrows when I would start to sweat. You know, I was like, oh, that's what they're for.
yes.
Because I would literally be sweaty, and it would be sweat be running down my eyes. I'd try to inhale, I'd have sweat going up my nose, because and then what really got me was nose hairs are important to keep the snot in. Okay,
Yes.
I'll just leave it there. Because it was like, where did that come from? You know, what?
You are definitely a comedian.
Yeah.
I still didn't grow my hair back under my arm.
A lot of hair don't come back. It don't come back. I don't have to worry about shaving my legs ever.
Me either. I didn't. Yeah, my hair didn't come back.
The radiated side, no hair, but the other side is like. But you know what killed me? The first place that the hair came was my freaking chin.
Wow.
What?
My chin hair was the first hair that came back, and then my pube hair. It's like, really.
Wow.
So your hair, so the chin grew before the hair on your top?
Yes,
Your head?
Yes.
Wow.
I was so mad. I was like, what?
Wow. Where did you have, not to cut you, where did you have radiation? Where was it, below the neck line?
They just did the left breast, like where
Okay.
the was. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
that's
about
where.
to say, because I had radiation 20 something years ago, and it's weird because when they radiate your body, I noticed these, I didn't have them back then. I noticed over the years, I got these where they radiated between my neck and my sternum and my back and front. I have these little mole, I don't know what you call them. They underneath the skin moles. It's like, I'm like, I looked at my back one day. I'm like, I ain't never had these. And I'm like, and the doctor said that, you had radiation. And he says you have these little moles that they underneath the skin, but they little, dots. I'm like, man, radiation does something to your skin.
You
Yeah, it
know what
does.
amazed me with the radiation that I got? Because they didn't do nothing to righty. Righty was clear, but lefty got all the heat. So it was like, I did not know that my skin could get that dark. It looked like one of those raisins, and California raisins, literally.
Mm, yeah,
I was like,
smack no.
I didn't know my stomach could do that. It
Yeah.
went to California
He said
raisin.
in
So
California.
I had a California raisin on the left side, and I had the regular on the other side, and it was like I had two people. It was like, where did that come from? While. It took a while for that tan to go away. And they said
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
if I had been like a white person, a Caucasian, they said that would have been blisters. But because I
Yeah.
have the
Wow.
melanin,
Yes. Yes.
It-
I
Yes.
start tan. It's like, yeah, the cancer picked the wrong one. Cancer picked the wrong
Yeah.
one. It just gave our tan. Hmm.
Yeah, I remember calling Lisa. I'm like, yo, it's looking bad. I sent her a picture. She was like, I'm talking raw. Yours was on the left, mine was on the right. And mine, I was raw from here all the way to
Ooh,
the middle of my back. That's how much
ooh,
radiation they did.
ooh.
Yeah, it was off the chain. It was off the chain. I just like, how they expect me to come back to work? I got big tatas. I can't go to work with no bra on and burning. What
Look,
I look
I did
like?
not work. I did not work because I work in a nursing home, and they
Hmm.
COVID. It was still COVID, and I wasn't trying
Oh
to die
yeah.
from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I did treatment, I stayed home and did the treatment.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
yeah, not getting me
Yeah.
like
Especially
that.
going through chemo and being in a nursing home. Yeah, that was the best thing during that time. Definitely.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and
That was the thing about being radiated 20 something years ago, 23 years ago for me with the first one. So when I got breast cancer, I couldn't be radiated again because I already been radiated in that area. And that saved me because I'm like, I used to call, I told Smack, I tell this story all the time. I had to do radiation every day for 2 months. And I used to call in like the days I'm like, I can't come in today. I just can't. They like, it's gonna go to the end of your cycle and it's gonna make it longer. I said, I don't care. Every day, Monday through Friday for 2 months. Some days I miss. I like, just tack it on. I'll get there. It was the worst thing. And I'm like, I thank God that I didn't have to have it this time because they can't radiate your body if it's already been radiated and stuff with the, radiation. So I got
yeah,
lucky.
rough. Everything about cancer treatment is rough, and you are a warrior. You are a warrior to get
Hmm.
through it. You are a warrior to allow it to happen. Because it's not pleasant. It is not pleasant, but if you get the all clear and like smack, how when I heard Smack was all clear because we were going through it at about the same time, Smack, and that's
mm-hmm.
why
Yep.
I was watching you. And then when I found out like 3 months later, it was back. I cried. I cried like a baby because I was like, because I know how it is to be told you
Yeah.
are clear. It's like, yes, I'm clear. And
Hmm.
told later, oh, you got something again? Oh, that's awful.
Hmm.
That is
Yeah.
awful. And you got to be a warrior enough to say, okay, let's do this again. Let's do it
Yeah.
again. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm glad I had Lisa there because man, I told her this time it's personal, and I changed my faith. I'm really into church. Not to say like I'm no saint, but I got into that Bible and just really tuned in and was hearing His word, and some days, I ask myself, because I'm in pain every day now. Some days I may start off without a cane and end up with the cane. And I
Yes.
just, there's mornings I just thank God for the pain. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm still breathing, still here to see my nieces, nephews, my girlfriend, my mom, my dad, my friends, true friends. I'm happy about that. But I feel like I need to get change as far as the law is concerned. Let me ask you a question, and at least I know you probably know where I'm going with this, but Lisa
Mm-hmm.
D, do you feel like I keep hearing and I keep dreaming that there is a cure for cancer? Do you feel that pharmaceuticals or maybe even doctors are taking advantage and not wanting to accept the cure here and keeping people going on? Because right now, like Delaware is ranked number one for, I forget, triple negative or something I just heard the other day. And I'm just like, why? There's a lot of whys for me. And the one I was telling you about, Lisa D, about the PET scans, I was never given one. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like they're using us for to make more money? Like, if there is a cure and something can do, why not give it to us so we can live longer?
Because
You
they
know
don't
what I
want us
mean?
to. They don't want us to. And here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my it may be a conspiracy theory, okay? But nurses were the first ones to get that COVID vaccine. Us nurses. And
Mm-hmm.
at the facility I was at, we had like 9 people get cancer at the same time I got cancer. How's that happen? And out of us 9, well, one nurse, she pretty much just died. She died. And then
Mm.
there had been like, out of the 9 of us that got cancer, I think 4 of us passed away. I mean,
Wow.
there's wrong there. There's something very
Mm-hmm.
wrong there. Because the one nurse who had the cancer, she didn't know she had cancer. So the
Okay.
Oh.
cancer spread so fast, it went into her brain and caused an aneurysm, and she died. And
Mm.
we all got that vaccine at the facility. And then I
Right.
went to another facility, and they were having an
Mm.
outbreak of breast cancer amongst the nurses. So I think you know, explain it to me. And then the nurses that didn't take the vaccine, they don't have it. None of them have any complaints of cancer. None of
Hmm.
them have said, "Oh, I have breast cancer." But the ones that have it, that have the vaccine, we're just. And I called someplace to see if we could sue, and they said no because the makers of the vaccine are covered. They
Yeah.
covered themselves, put it
Yeah.
out. So
That's
they're
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
sue. We can't sue. So yeah, I
I
think they
remember
want
you posting that. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember you posting that on your Facebook, and
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, and I heard you're. I've heard that before from like three different people because I'm a talker. I like to talk to
Yes.
people, and they were nurses as well, and
Yeah.
they, you know,
They
got
use
cancer.
they used us nurses as guinea pigs. They used us as guinea pigs. I'm like, if you want to know what that vaccine is doing, follow nurses. But nobody's doing any study on nurses.
No.
Nobody's studying.
Mm.
No.
So that tells me that
Wow, that's deep.
did they put it out? Did they put it out on purpose to give it to us to see what happens?
Because
Mm.
I definitely got the shot, and I got cancer afterward.
Yeah, and it was fast growing cancer. It went from I
Yeah.
was one of those. I did a monthly check. I was not afraid to touch my boobies. They're my
Right.
boobies. And when I found something there, it's like I went to my doctor. By the time my doctor gave me an antibiotic because he said it's probably an infection. And
What?
so, yes, yes.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, okay.
Wow, Lisa. That's
And
sort of like your situation, Lisa.
then
This-
a month later, I go and I get my mammogram, and it's gone from a pea to a daggone goose egg size. That's how fast it
Mm.
grew. So you can't tell me I got the vaccine in like December, and then you have to have the second step. I got that
Yeah.
in February. By April, May, yeah, April, I had a knot. By June, I had a goose egg. Explain that to me.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Man,
That's
like
crazy.
Lisa's
I never got
story.
the vaccine. I'm unable to get it. I'm unable to get any type of vaccine unless it's done in the hospital because I have antiphylactic. It sends me into shock and hives and throat closing up. I have to have an epi. I scared them to death in oncology 4 times because of Lanacane and heparin. They no longer give people Lanacane at Bay Health anymore because of me. Because of me. So I always apologize to people and say, if you got to get that port and they got to stick that needle in you, I'm the person
I
where you
go
can't
cold
have
turkey.
Lanacane because I was the one that sent the whole oncology into shock 4 times and they had to rush me
Wow.
to the ER. So it's crazy. So my doctor said, you can't have any flu shot, anything. And, when they was pushing the vaccine, they said, well, you can't go out of the country. You got to show that card. And I'm like, what about people like me that is unable to have that vaccine? What, are you going to stop me from traveling, doing stuff because I don't have a card to say I, had taken the vaccine? And some of the people I know that um, taking the vaccine, they got sick multiple times,
Mhm.
and I've
Oh yeah,
never, you have 4?
I've had COVID 4 times. Yeah, 4 times.
Really?
Yes, 4,
Whew. I've
4.
had I've never on
I've
record
never
been
had it.
told I've had it. I've never had it. But I really think before they knew what it was, I really think my girlfriend and I had it because we were both really, really sick. I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
before they
they
knew
were
what it
treating
was.
it like, yeah, before they knew what it
A
was. And they were
flu,
just
influenza A, that's what they
calling it
said.
they called it upper respiratory infection. That's what they told me and gave me all kind of antibiotics. And I was like, these antibiotics ain't working. I just had to sit still.
Yeah.
But
Because
going
if you're
back to
Yeah.
Lisa, that part, the antibiotic, the doctor gave you an antibiotic and
yeah,
sent you on your
because
way.
yeah, he said, here we're gonna give you antibiotic because it's probably a breast infection. You
Probably.
know, yeah. Well, he said
What's up with the
hopefully,
doctors, man?
yeah. And I mean, I would think if they had responded quicker, I wouldn't have been stage 3 by time
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because they were
Wow.
like little branches. They said heading for my chest wall. It was branching out. It was trying. It was trying to go to my lymph nodes. Just imagine if I had
Mm,
been 2 weeks. You know,
Oh,
yeah.
you still got your lymph nodes?
They took out some of my lymph nodes, not all of them. They
okay.
took
Uh,
some. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember how many they took them on. I think it was like 9 or 10 under my arm.
And
That
I
is
still have.
something.
It's been what 21 since I had my no, yeah, 21 since I had my front.
Surgery.
And my incision site is still sore. I mean, people need to realize you're still going to have soreness.
Hmm.
You're going to have loss of sensitivity. But I'm glad I had the lumpectomy and not the whole removal. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I got.
and
I wanted them gone. I was mad that they wouldn't give me what I wanted. I'm like, this is my body. I wanted her to take them all off. She said, we
and you
just don't
should. They
take
should have done that. They should have done that. It's your body, your choice.
But
Because
they insurance.
yeah,
Insurance.
I had women that were upset with me that were previous breast cancer, they're survivors because I didn't have it taken off. They were like, you need to take it off because it's going to come back. Well, it could come back anywhere. My body makes cancer. So it can come back
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. So, I
Yeah.
chose to keep my little breast I had. But thank God I have watermelons and they took out like a size of a tangerine, a flat tangerine,
Yeah.
they said on that side.
Mm.
So, I still have my boobs, you
Right.
know.
That's-
Yeah. With
Um,
smack, that's the doctor told her no. I was like, if you don't need them, but it's an insurance, you're like, we don't do it if it's not necessary. That was the reason. But I'm like, if it's something that I'm gonna prevent me from coming back, this is what I want to do, and this is where she's at now. And we definitely a little upset about that because you can't do anything to those doctors. They all protected the hospital, the doctors, like you were saying, you can't sue because
They're
they're
protected.
protected. Mm-hmm.
Protected.
uh,
If their oops can ruin your life, but they're protected.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to yeah, we gotta change stuff. And I get on my activism and my advocacy. I
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
I get very upset because she don't make promises to me.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I guarantee you I'm gonna get it and you don't have to worry about it again. Don't make stuff promises like that to me.
Yeah, don't make promises. Don't make
So
Yeah.
what go ahead.
That's like with my cancer, when they told me I was all clear, I was all ready to ring the bell. They didn't have me ring the bell. I was like, why don't I get to ring the bell? And they didn't have
Mm.
me ring the bell.
You
And I
didn't
was
ring
Hmm.
the
kind of
bell at all?
I did not ring the bell. I wanted a girl. I would have been up there digging, 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 digging. I did not get to. And I was wondering why didn't I get to? Why
That's
didn't you
messed
let me do that?
up.
So I don't know if that's his way of saying, yeah, I got it, but we're not going to celebrate right now. You know,
Wow.
I because I was all ready to ring that bell. Oh, I was ready.
And that's
They
why I
don't
tell
ring
people to
the
be
bell no more if they
proactive,
help.
be your own advocate, because I, I know my body. Like, I had to go get blood work a couple weeks ago. I know how to tell them what needle, butterfly, what size, and she's like, you know what you're doing, yeah, because y'all get those needles and you think I can't do anything with my arms. It's my hands, and it's been years, 20 something years from the first chemo I got. They messed both my arms, so they blown. So when I
Yeah,
go in to get blood work, I tell them, if you got to take that needle and keep going like this and coming out and stuff, that hurts. Stop.
it does. It
If you
does.
can't do it,
See,
don't. I tell them stop,
yeah,
because you're gonna bruise my hand. And they like, I'm so sorry. I said, I know me. I said, I know me better than you think you know you, because you're a phlebotomist and you think you know. But I'm telling you where you can go in my hand, and it's gonna wiggle because they're thin. You got to get a butterfly, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you to the third time. But if you pull it out and keep jigging it in, look, we got to stop.
Oh,
Find somebody else to do it. And I tell
see,
people, you have the control. Let them be mad, but you the one they're bruising and beating up on. Don't allow that.
yeah.
yeah. But
They
then they
did that to
charge
me.
patient difficult and uncooperative with care. You know,
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm
I
so
never
glad
had it.
I got a port. Thank God for my port, because they can never find my vein, and it's like, come on, I can see my vein, and they can't see my vein. So, and plus
Yeah,
they had the first time I had chemo, they did it in my hand, and I kept telling them, "Look,
Mhm.
this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. It's burning," and they can't
yeah,
really look.
yeah, yep.
Ended up with this huge chemo burn on my hand.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah, and then I got a port. Then I got a port.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're
That
listening,
chemo
Port,
burns.
Lisa.
oh, I'm keeping my port because I have two
I
little
had mine for a while. I took it
labs. So is that me? That is
I don't
me.
know.
My
I ain't
brain,
hear.
out.
Is that me?
No, that's
no,
Lisa D.
it's
No,
me.
that's Lisa D. That's yeah. I'm gonna
Yes,
keep hold on to
my
my port
brain.
too.
Yeah,
But
I'm
they
like,
can't
Waiting for my
access it
port.
here. They can't access your port. Like, if we go to the emergency room, they won't access it
Yeah,
at all. They have to
you
have
have to
somebody
be
come down from oncology to be able to access it. So I got mine taken out when I had my reconstruction done, and they just took it out because I had it in for a while also. But it does,
yeah.
it defeats the purpose, because in Delaware they won't access your port at all. If you go to the emergency room, they're gonna stick you in your arm or your hands, and
Yeah,
because they're not trained in the ER to access it.
See, they have an
yeah,
RNs. When there's an RN available, they can.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they do when I go to the hospital. There's an RN available.
yeah.
Well, there's
They
something
got
wrong with our RNs because they can't do it here.
I don't let nobody go in my port, but there's I don't know what it's called, but that's all they do. These people, they're trained heavily with the
Yeah.
veins and all that. I
Mm-hmm.
forget they're the only ones who can come and do it. If it's not oncology here in Delaware. But I did want to ask you, what four instruments do you play?
Okay, I do the drums. I play the piano. I play the keyboard. I play the clarinet.
Oh
So
wow.
I those are things I do play. And like my music I make, most of the music that I have out, I've done all the music. I mean, I'm playing everything. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's one thing. I have a few songs where I've had a drummer, well, not a drummer. I've had a guitarist, really good one, come in and help me. But most of the stuff I do myself. I play a little
That's
guitar, but the guitar is mainly for comedy because I know I'm not good at it. So I use
so.
that for comedy.
So
Oh,
say your
okay.
city name again. You said it's called. What's the city in Indiana?
Terre Haute,
Terre Haute.
Terre Haute, Indiana.
Terre Haute, Indiana.
Hmm.
How
Okay.
far is that from Delaware?
Woo! Okay, I'm closer to Chicago.
Yeah, she's close to
Chicago.
Oh,
Chicago.
okay.
I'm close
She's
to
right on the
Chicago.
Did
side.
you just go
I-
there, sis?
No,
Did
Lisa,
I
I?
did
went to
you just go there?
Oh,
no, I went to
No, Lisa
Chicago
Scott.
about 10 years ago when Sweetie Pies. I did a road trip. That's been a minute with my daughter
Oh, okay.
when Hannah was 6. Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
I
been a
thought
while.
you had went to Indiana here
yeah.
recently.
No, you go when you do the road trip. You pass by. But no, I was in Chicago. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
But to hit on what Lisa was saying about, voice what you need, they don't listen to black folks, black women. Because I was pregnant and I was ready to deliver. They didn't believe that I was ready to deliver because I was too calm. And it's not that black folks don't feel the pain. It's just we take it internally. We don't express it outwardly. And that's because massa beat it out of our genetics. So we don't
Yeah.
we don't sit there and be like,
Yeah,
we don't do that. When we're
that's
hurting,
me.
we just say, I hurt. That should be enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to yell and scream and holler, but that's what they're used to. So they don't believe that we're
Yeah.
in pain. We just express it differently than what they've been taught that people express pain. And that's something that
Mm-hmm.
medical people need to learn. We're black folks. We don't do that. Massa beat that yelling with pain stuff out of us a long time ago.
I guess he ain't beat it up out of my side, cause I'll tell you right now. They look, they because when you were talking about the needle and moving it all around, I start cussing at people. I touch people like get off of me. I
Okay.
push you back, but I do holler and scream. I ain't gonna lie, cause it hurts when they're trying. Cause my veins is I forget what they call them. They like small and thin. Sometimes they gotta
Ah,
use this.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
use this machine that makes your veins pop up under and they can see or whatever. I don't know. But I started cussing and everything and hollering and screaming. That is me with pain. But I have since, I don't holler and scream no more. I'm learning to, push through it as like Lisa, my girlfriend, have told me. I just try not to think about it. I'm always in pain because it spread to my bones.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like a
that is so painful.
yeah.
Well, I asked Lisa this because I know time is winding down. What from your journey? What have you learned, and what advice can you give to other warriors?
The best advice I can give is if you find something that's abnormal, you get take care of. Go to the doctor, go see. Don't wait. Don't be like, oh, it'll go away. Go fast because this cancer that's I'm still saying this, the COVID vaccine that is producing, it grows fast and it moves fast. So you don't have time to waste. I mean, you can go from being like a 1 stage to a 4 stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go get yourself checked out. And the other thing I think is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't let people tell you, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Believe. Take that intuition. When your intuition says, "Hey, this ain't right," go get it checked out. The other thing I learned was I've got some damn good friends. I mean, I've got amazing, amazing friends, and it's not like I was like, hey, I need this. They just started just reacting. I'm so grateful for my friends because when your family
Yeah.
can't be there for you, I am so glad I
Yes.
had friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a
That is
Oh,
a
blessing.
blessing.
amazing
Because
friends.
when you in the trenches, you was in the trenches and you seen who had your back in the
Oh
clutch
yeah.
when you needed them, and you probably was like, "Oh my gosh,
I
this
mean,
is
when I was
amazing." Because some people don't get that.
they don't because I was so bad with not having food. I was in the back of my cupboard. Now, mind you, this is 2021, pulling out stuff from 2017 cans. Okay, because I
Oh,
had nothing
wow.
to eat. I had nothing to eat. And then, you know, my friends, they just reacted. They sent cards, they sent food. I mean, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
amazing. That is
Because when you
amazing.
have cancer, there is nothing for you. There is nothing out there for you. Government don't give you a check. They
Hmm.
don't.
Yeah, that's true.
By the time the government does give those that can get the checks, you're in the ground. You're dead by the time they get that check.
Hmm.
So
I
yeah,
think,
you have to have something. You have to have
yeah,
somebody something.
And that's
Mm.
that's where I came in with Smack and with Veronica, because there was no one there. I had to learn and find out about all these different organizations that help for me to pay my rent, to pay my car payment, and things
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, I had to learn these things because nobody was telling me, even though I had um, the social worker nurse, she only knew a few things, but I went beyond that realm and found other things and provided to her for the next cancer patients that needed assistance, because I was a single mom. I worked all the way up until the day before my surgery, actually that morning. And I only had like 5 hours to go. I had to be there at 6 o'clock. I worked until 1 o'clock that morning at work, and then I went home, cleaned up, because I knew when I came back I wouldn't be able to do anything. I just never went to sleep and went right into surgery. But the thing is that's why we put a list together, put things
yeah,
on the uh, on the podcast of all the organizations that are available out there.
yeah,
You don't have to be in Delaware. Most of them you can just reach out to them, and some will send you a check, and some will pay your bills for you. And I
I
don't
got a
like
question.
the thing. Oh, go ahead,
I got a question for
Lisa.
both of you guys. Did you think that there would be any help for you? Did you, when you first got sick, did you think, okay, yeah, I'm gonna, somebody's gonna send me some food, somebody gonna help me out, there's gonna be help for my bills?
I didn't.
You have
Not at first.
Nah,
No,
you
I
have
didn't think
no.
it. Not at first.
you have to go get it. And the problem is when you're sick and you're nauseated and you're worried about your electricity getting turned off, but you gotta find an organization to give you money, and then they're
Yeah,
like,
Mm-hmm.
well, we need proof of this, we need proof of that. And it's like, you're sick.
yeah.
And
And
they got
some
Yeah.
of them, it didn't take as much, but it was still like you sick and you like, oh my God, I got to do this. And I got to get the energy to do this and upload it. And thank God I could upload it through the email and send it. But that's when I learned. And I told Smack, I said, look, you trying to go back to work. And that's the one thing that most people do. And I explained to them, I thought I was able to go back to work. And my oncologist said, no, you're not going to be able to go back to work. Because I told my coworkers, I'll see you in 3 months. that didn't happen, and it became permanent disability. But I told Smack, I said, don't rush to work, because you don't know what your body's going to do after the fact. Everyone's different. Everyone is different.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you don't want to go to work. And that's what happened to me 20 something years ago. I went to work after being out for a year and a half, went to work, got stressed out. My body just couldn't take it. I ended up back in the hospital. And it's like, it was an ongoing situation. And I just tell people, take your time. And there's programs. And that's why I try to advocate like she does on a different level, but try to help people and say, these are the programs that will help you. Just got to get somebody to help you fill them out, and they'll pay your mortgage, your rent, your car payment, car insurance. There's organizations out there.
So, Lisa D, we're winding down the time on our show. This has been really great having you here with us.
thank
Where
you.
can people follow you? I wish you weren't so. You gonna have me fly out the. Well, I might drive. I ain't doing too many planes dropping out the
You know
sky.
what?
I might have to
Yeah,
drive
yeah, because
to
Trump
come
messed
and
up anyways.
yeah,
Uh,
because I love music. But how can people find you?
you can find my music on everything. I'm on iHeartRadio under Lisa Divalicious. That is my my singer name is Divalicious.
Okay.
Um, on everything, or you can just Google Lisa Divalicious. I got like 2 pages. I'm there.
Drop
Um,
it in my inbox when you
okay,
think about it.
you can Google me, and
Okay.
The other thing is Facebook. I have my Facebook page that it's my personal, but it's also what I use for putting out new music and putting my videos and stuff on. So you can
Okay.
find me Lisa Wood. Lisa Wood, Lisa D is what it says. And I
That
think
was
Okay.
right. I didn't know y'all two knew each other because I saw your message on Lisa Scott's page under the resources, and she was saying we're looking for.
I didn't know Lisa.
Uh,
I think she might have responded to underneath the comments. I don't know.
yeah, I was like, oh, I know she knew Lisa Wood. That's what's up.
anytime I see something related to breast cancer awareness, to talking about it, to discussing it, I'm in. I'm in. I've done
That's
commercials
awesome.
for it. I've done
Yeah.
fundraisers, my own fundraisers for it, because that is near and dear to my heart. Because, like I said,
Right.
cancer chose the wrong person when it chose me. Because I'm gonna fight it.
I
I'm gonna
like
There
fight
that.
you
it.
go.
Everybody
All
know.
right.
Mm.
Well, look, we thank you for coming on, sharing your story, and cutting up with
Yeah.
us. You had us laughing, especially about the little razor. I'm
Razors.
gonna go back and look at my pictures because I think you're right. They do look like razors
It
on one
does.
side. But we do thank you to all of our viewers out there. We will be back on in 2 weeks. You know, we do this every other week, and hopefully, other co-host Veronica will be here with us. Lisa, did you have anything you wanted to say, Lisa Scott? We got two Lisas on here.
No.
Lisa D and Lisa.
Basically just as I always say, like, share, and care the podcast so that information get out to different various people. And always remember this, and I tell Smack a lot of these things, cliches that I have. You control the narrative of your
Yep.
life. And the thing is, again, the doctors, they work for us. We don't work for them. So
Right.
therefore, when a doctor's telling you, and I've been misdiagnosed the first time in my first cancer, I say this all the time, I'm going to say it. You control the narrative. And if a doctor telling you there's nothing wrong, and just like with Lisa D, and they said an antibiotic, I would have sat there, or I would have went to somebody else, because I know how I feel. You can't tell me how I feel. So don't just let them pass you off and be passive with your situation you're complaining about. And the other thing is, if you got 3 things wrong with you, and this is a problem with that doctors will do, and that happened to me. If your butt hurt, your ear hurt, and your toe hurt, and they say, what's the most important? All 3 of them, because they don't want to see you. They don't want to see you for all 3. They want to see you for one, so they can bill you, so you can come back for the others. No, they all important to me. So be
There it
proactive
is.
and control your narrative. They work for us. Without us, they would not have a job.
Love you, my sister. Look at her. Well, look, y'all.
Lisa.
We thank y'all. Go ahead, sis. You got me in here hype, ready to go advocate at Legislative Hall somewhere. I appreciate that. Everybody, thank you, and we'll see you again week after
Thank you,
next.
Lisa. Thank you.
Hey, can you hear me? Look. Check it out. Ignite Her has launched. It is 2025. I'm just picking up clothes from one of my friends who had some extra clothes to help out the Ignite Her program. If you have any gently worn business attire, clothes for women who are out here doing the work but maybe do not have the clothing that they need to get the job done, we need your old clothes. Hit me up in my inbox or through House of Peach. The program is called Ignite Her, where we provide clothing to women who may be transitioning from one job to the next and maybe don't have the means to buy clothes. It could be going from working at McDonald's to now working in an office. So we're looking for gently worn business clothes. Make sure y'all hit us up, all right? Please hit us up. We need those clothes. And check right below there. If you're not in the state of Delaware, you can mail them to us. Or if you're in Delaware, we'll pick them up. Y'all have a great evening.